is Donna Feazell, and I'm your host of The Edge. You can find us on television two different ways, Tricia. You can find us locally in North Alabama, channel 182 on Charter Communications, and then Abundant TV, which is worldwide. We're syndicated there. And I think folks up north like to make fun of my southern accent.
I have no
I think
doubt
that's
they
what
would.
it is. But thank you so much anyway for watching. We definitely appreciate that. You're the apple of my eye. I know you could be doing anything else, but you're watching us right now. We appreciate it. Great topic. And this is on aging. I'm talking with my really good friend, Tricia Hopper, and she's with GAP, the Marshall County Guardianship Program. So what's going on with GAP right now?
There is a lot going on. Tomorrow is a very busy day for me. Our program started in 2009. We were the second in the state of Alabama to have volunteers. I have a person from Morgan County's Department of Human Resources, Adult Protective Services, coming to my office tomorrow to shadow me and for me to explain to her how to get them started. They've been on the cusp trying. I've sent our incorporation papers. It's just that I guess it's that final push to get in there. So she's going to come and we're going to sit and talk about everything, and I'm going to have to ask her to leave a little early because I'm going to go to one of our high schools and sit down with some parents who have children with disabilities and talk to them about the guardianship program and what happens when their child turns 18 and they're no longer their guardian because they're no longer a minor. So I'm kind of excited about that because, special ed's my real background.
Right. You were a teacher.
Yes. I
taught
25 years. And I taught special ed, and I shared a lot with my parents, and I want to share it with others because if you don't know what happens after they finish school, what could possibly be out there for them, then they're just stuck at home. And that's sad, and they lose everything that they've done for those years in public school.
Everybody needs to be outside.
Yes,
right?
Everybody needs to have something, have a reason to get up every morning. And so I'm really excited about talking to the parents. That's really important to me. And then I'm also excited that it may happen in another county that they'll have volunteers.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Can you name that county yet?
I'm hoping Morgan, and I'm hoping I can talk to Etowah.
Oh, that'd be great.
Yes, I would love to.
We won't tell anybody. Should keep it quiet. Don't tell it. So what are some of the pitfalls? What are some of the things that can happen if people just can't get? I'm talking about my own self. I have to get out, or I drive for Phil crazy.
Yes.
She agreed with that.
No, I didn't mean to agree that you drive Phil crazy.
Yes, she did. We're friends. She meant that.
I've got where I like to be home all the time, but you just get where you don't want to go out. But, COVID was horrible. Because,
that was the most horrible thing.
Yes, because people who were outgoing were stuck in a home and without people, and that really caused a lot of depressions. And then your elderly who didn't get out anyway had people that had to come check on them, and then they couldn't come check on them. That was really a sad situation. So I'm hoping that with these volunteer programs, when people go visit, a lot of our people in the nursing homes, but if they're able, you can get them and go eat lunch, or you could take them to the craft area and y'all do something fun like that they don't think they have to stay in their room all the time.
Yeah.
And not have any interaction.
It's like a jail. It's like a cage.
It almost is. Yeah, it is. And I understand there's some that they're bedridden and they're not going to be able to be mobile and get around, but still there are some that can, and it, if you don't use it, you lose it.
That's true.
So, and I always told my kids that when I work with those that had cerebral palsy, you have to exercise, because if you don't, you're not going to be able to roll your wheelchair or to walk with your braces. You're going to have to use what you've got and keep it going. And I think that happened a lot also during COVID, was with the elderly. They got stuck in their house and they didn't have anywhere to go, and they just walked from the living room to the kitchen to the bathroom to the bedroom. There was no exercise, no sunshine, kind of thing. And I think a lot of them, it caused a lot of depression and some deterioration. And I hate that happened to them.
Well, I noticed a lot of folks, like my mother is like 84 and she's still driving around all over the place, so she's, you couldn't keep her band in if you tried.
Yeah.
But a lot of folks can't, and maybe sometimes they've had accidents, their kids have to take their keys away from them.
Yes.
That's a tough thing.
It is a tough thing, and depending on where you live, I don't know that y'all have that in Geraldine. I do know that in Albertville, where I live, we have a little transportation bus that'll come pick you up. Of course, you have to plan ahead of time.
Right.
Can't
just do it on you. Right. Plan.
In Gunnersville, they have a whole fleet. Like, they have several buses.
How nice.
I wish that it would be countywide. I wish that was something that would be countywide, because, if you're outside of the city limits and you're in Douglas and your doctor's in Gunnersville and you don't have a way, you got to depend on somebody else and you may not be able to get there. Then when you get to the doctor and you got to go pick up a script, well, there's another thing that you feel like you're hindering that person to take you to the pharmacy too. So, and I've learned with my parents that the older they get, the more they don't want to inconvenience you. No, it's okay. I'll be all right. Because Daddy has to go and Mother too to Huntsville to the doctors, and it's like, well, if you can get both appointments on one day, don't make two trips. And I'm like, it's no biggie for me, but it is to them.
Yeah.
You know, and it wears them out too. But they're so conscious of my time, my money. You know, I'm like, don't worry about it. I've blocked off this day for y'all. It's been in my calendar for months, but just elderly just feel like they're an inconvenience, and I hate that they feel that way.
Yeah.
That they should feel like they're the most important person in the world because they have so much knowledge and so much experience that they can share with these younger generations if they'll listen and be able to offer assistance with situations. Like, I keep thinking, if the world gets any worse, then we're going to start making our own food and growing our own
Think
food
of that a lot.
and canning and freezing. And I'm not sure I could do it, but I'm sure it'd start clicking when I started doing it. It would all
If
come
I
back.
can do it, Tricia, anybody
Right.
can.
But
it's not lost hope.
Right. But let's think of these millenniums.
Oh my goodness.
No, if you can't buy it at the grocery store, forget it. I don't have it.
Or where does food come from? The grocery store?
Or the drive-through.
Yeah. Which takes forever. You have to give it a change back.
Yeah, and that's not everybody. I'm not saying that's all the young people, but there are a lot of young people that they have no clue how to survive without being able to run to the store and get whatever they need.
Yeah.
And they are wasteful. Where my grandmother saved everything because you might use it for something later.
The grease from the sausage and from the bacon. Yeah.
Yes. I have to tell this story, and please don't come arrest me. I hope the what is that called when it's past time and they can't arrest you for it? When we were teenagers, we stole a stop sign. And so my mom and dad
You're the reason.
Yeah. My mom and dad were gone, and it was my girlfriends that were going to eat tonight. We went and threw it in the back side of my grandmother's garden. Now, the back side next to the fence, okay. That morning, I'm in my room, and she comes in, and she said, somebody threw a stop. I thought, how in the world did she find that stop sign? So I'm just casually kind of, okay. She lived next door to us. And I said, she started to go home. I said, I'm going to go with her. And they said, well, okay, but don't stay too long. And I said, okay. So we get out the door, and we get halfway back to her house, and I'm like, Nanny, that's my stop sign. She said, oh. And I said, are you going to tell on me? She said, no, I'm not going to tell on you. Can I have the pole for my beans? I'm like, yeah, you can have them for your
That would have been my grandmother's.
I said, can you help me get
Only
that
if I can have the pole for my beans.
I said, can you help me get the sign off?
Otherwise, you're going to prison.
So there's always a use for everything other than what it's intended for. So.
And I got to share this one. My Aunt Elizabeth is like 101 years old. So she still does. Saves bacon grease and that kind of thing and makes soap out of it. She uses lime.
Wow.
Oh, and you would think you'd smell the bacon and stuff. The lime does something about the scent.
Well, I wouldn't mind smelling the bacon. I like bacon.
Chocolate covered bacon. Yeah. No, okay, we'll go with that. But now you're also bringing up some ideas about volunteers too, because sometimes it's because the kids live in another state.
Yes, that's a lot of the issue is the kids have moved off to get a better job, and so they have children there, and they don't want to pull up stakes and come back, and so mom and dad need somebody here to help them make decisions, and that's when my volunteers come in play. And then, of course, the judge has me training the family guardians too. And I'm glad she's doing that because there's always questions. And rather than having to pick up the phone and call an attorney and pay that $50 to $100 for that 30 minutes, they can call me and I'll walk across the street to the courthouse and ask the judge or find an attorney in there. There's always one, and ask them, and then I've got an answer for them. And once I have the answer for them, then I share it with the other guardians because it may come up again. And that way I want everybody to have all the tools that they need to make sure that they're doing what they need to be doing for their individuals. And I tell my guardians they don't have to take care of money. That's up to a rep payee or a conservator, usually in nursing homes, or the rep payee. They have to make sure that person stays healthy. They have to be on top of their medical stuff. They have to make sure they're safe where they're living. and they need to make sure that their quality of life's what they want.
Mm-hmm.
If Miss like my mama, if she was in the nursing home, she'd want to go every Friday and get her hair done. That's what she's done for 50, 60 years, and that's what she thinks she's supposed to do every Friday is go get her hair done for church on Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
And so if that's what needs to be done, then we'll figure out a way to help make sure they've got money in there to pay for their hair to get done, and that kind of thing. And that person usually handles that and sets it up because they get money to spend, so she can set up the appointments and make sure somebody's there for her. So it's just that little thing that gives them a little bit of the normalcy that they used to have, that makes it worthwhile for you to be there and do something for
and they
them.
get to get out,
and they get to get out, and they get to see other people, and they have that natural support that my mom's been going to the little college up here to get her hair done, and she said she didn't go for a couple of weeks. Well, she couldn't drive, so my husband took her and dropped her off, and he said, I was getting out of the truck to help her get out, and said, everybody come out of that building helping her get out, and they all helped her get back in the truck. And he said, they were like, where have you been? We've been worried about you, and all this kind of stuff. So, and I told him, I said, that's neat that they consider Mama part of them.
Yeah.
And that they wanted to check on her, especially a school that's probably got younger people in it. But they were all excited because she'd come back, and they wanted to know. So, you never know what impact you're having on somebody. So my volunteers don't know what impact they're having on that individual that they're the volunteer guardian for, but that guardian doesn't realize what kind of impact that person's going to have on their life too.
That's true. We're going to have to go into a commercial break in just a couple of minutes, but I wanted to mention the outreach because we're in northern Alabama right now, but there are other, for folks who live anywhere else in the United States, there are other programs out there as well.
Yes, there are.
How do you search for them?
What I did when I was looking through this, trying to figure out how I was going to train and everything, I just looked up guardianship programs in certain states. Like Kansas has a statewide program. So I just said guardianship programs in Georgia or guardianship programs in wherever. And then it just kind of started pulling up different states, whether I typed that state in or not. So it kind of showed me. Here in Alabama, it's us in Mobile County. So we're the only ones right now that are volunteers. There are programs out there that you can get paid to be a guardian. Excuse me. But however, when you're paid, they're going to throw like 20 people at you.
Ooh.
Yeah. And what you're supposed to do is visit with them and make sure they're safe and healthy and doing what they want to do.
That'd be hard to do with 20 plus.
It would be very hard to do with 20 people, and sometimes they fall to the wayside. So if you're going to do it for the money, I'd rather you didn't do that because sometimes it hurts that individual more than it helps. So when volunteering, we try not to give you more than 2. If you just want one, that's, you just tell me, one's all I want right now. Okay, that's fine. We do have couples that do it together. So he has 2 and she has 2. So they go visit them together, which I think is really neat. That if it's a female that, sometimes you need a male to talk to about stuff. And it's just, to me, it's just
some
a
ladies
neat
are
thing.
real flirty, and they do.
Oh, yes, they are flirty. But I just think that's pretty neat that the couple does it together, and that's something that they bonded with too. Yeah. That's pretty cool. I think so.
I think so too. Let's go ahead and cut to a commercial break. We're going to be right back in just a few minutes, so y'all hang in there. We're going to find out about the Hatter. The Hatter Cafe and Country Inn is nestled in the northeast corner of Alabama the Beautiful, in the delightful town of Mentone. We're located on top of scenic Lookout Mountain, near Little River and DeSoto State Park, and located only 5 minutes from shopping and restaurants. We welcome everyone through the door, and we're committed to outstanding service for all guests. At the Hatter Cafe and Country Inn, we invite people from all walks of life to come in and get away from it all. Enjoy the open spaces, treetop views, fresh, clean air, and experience Southern hospitality at its finest. We serve breakfast and lunch 8 to 2 Friday through Sunday through the winter months through March. To reserve a special event or to reserve that special getaway at the Country Inn, you can call us at 256-634-2018.
Hello, I'm Mike Lindell, and my employees and I want to thank each and every one of you for your continued support. With everything going on right now, your rest is so important. That's why we're having the biggest MyPillow sale ever. Not only are my bed pillows as low as $19.98, but you can get the best body pillows ever. Regular $89.98, now only $29.98. Take your rests on the go with our Roll and Go Anywhere My Pillows for only $14.98. And we have our new couch and accent pillows. They aren't just for looks. They have My Pillow's patented adjustable fill that gives you that amazing My Pillow comfort. In this economy, you get the best gifts ever for the best prices ever. So go to mypillow.com or call the number on your screen. Use your promo code and you get deep discounts on body, couch, bolster pillows, and so much more, including my original bed pillows for as low as $19.98. Please order now while quantities last.
Let Rhonda at Rhonda's Elite Tax LLC take the burden off you for all your tax needs. I know because Rhonda has been taking care of my business since 2013. I feel Rhonda works for me because she knows the direct questions to ask to better benefit my unique business in order for me to get back the biggest refund possible. Rhonda is an ongoing student, and she knows tax laws are in a constant change every year. Call 256-281-9903 for an appointment to take the dread out of getting your taxes done. Rhonda is located at 11968 U.S. Highway 431 in Boaz. Again, that number is 256-281-9903. And let Rhonda's Elite Tax LLC champion your personal and business taxes. Twin City Used Car Sales has been serving drivers in the Northeast Alabama area for years with a quality selection of late model used cars, SUVs, and pickup trucks. On top of our extensive selection and competitive prices, we offer professional auto financing services for used car buyers of all credit levels. Whether you've just begun your search or you're ready to secure your next vehicle, at Twin City Used Car Sales, you will drive away with the vehicle of your dreams. The sales and finance staff at Twin City Used Car Sales look forward to serving you. And you can apply for financing online before your visit to our used dealership in Fort Payne and Gadsden, Alabama. Check us out on the web at twincityusedcars.com or go by the locations in Fort Payne and Gadsden. We sincerely look forward to serving you.
We're back. My name is Donna Fiesel, and I'm your host of The Edge. You can find us on television, channel 182 on Charter Communications. You can also find us worldwide on Abundant TV, and we picked up some new sponsors. I think I'll just go ahead and announce a couple of them while you're here.
That's great.
Okay,
yeah.
We got Walmart, we got Amazon coming in,
Yay.
and oh man, I'm so excited about those. It's just so good. And Lowe's Home Improvement. So we're really, really happy to have those new sponsors. And so thank you so much for having the confidence in us. We definitely appreciate that. I think it's because I like to do stuff. So I sent some videos.
Ah, okay.
And, anybody who's, and this is another tip I have for you. So Phil and I are fixing up this old house. This used to be my grandparents' old home place, and it's the farm. And so we were putting down some tiles in the floor. And so Phil starts in the middle, and I said, "What are you doing that for?" I'm thinking you start at one corner and just make it. So, no, that's not how you do it. And so I learned a lot. So I shared that with them. Mm-hmm. And so we're going to be doing a lot of, believe me, we got plenty of work to do. As a matter of fact, next time you're on the show, you and I are going to be working on a project. I'm going to get free work out of her. No, I wouldn't do that.
I can patch sheetrock. That's about as far as mine.
Oh, that's Phil needs somebody to do that. That's just another job waiting to happen. But I have Tricia Hopper with me right now. She's the executive director of GAP, and that's the Marshall County Guardianship Program. I'm going to tell you what, you're a jewel. So many things. And I actually talked nice to her behind her back too, okay? Over heads. But the program that has been put together is really a huge help to folks in this area that would normally people wouldn't pay attention to.
Right, exactly. I had one lady say, everybody wants the puppies. Mm-hmm. Everybody wants to take care of the kids. But when they're older, they don't want the older dogs, so they don't want to take care of the older people. That's kind of sad. I think our country I'm not saying children shouldn't be taken care of. They're precious and they should. I wouldn't have taught school for 25 years if I didn't. but our elderly need to be taken care
Oh,
of too.
we know what you mean. I'll tell you somebody else who agrees with you, and that's Doug McGee from Second Chance Animal Shelter. He says that about dogs. Everybody
Yes.
wants a puppy, but when it grows up,
Yep, they don't want them. So, and it's kind of sad. I have had, let's see, in the past 3 months, I think I've trained 4 volunteers.
oh
Yeah,
wow,
especially during the Christmas holidays. That's kind of unusual because everybody's so
Yeah.
busy with everything.
it's
But
because you turned into a media star, and
I
everybody's
guess
watching
that's
you now.
it. I guess that's it. But yeah, I've trained 4 that volunteers, and I mean, I have one that's calling me. Have I got my papers yet? Have I got my papers yet? Because I've already found her somebody.
Jumping
for
up and
her,
down, can't
yes,
wait.
for her to be her guardian, for them to be the guardian, but they hadn't got their paperwork yet. So when you don't have your paperwork, the nursing home is real leery about how much that big old HIPAA
Oh, I'm
thing.
glad they're that way. I'm
Mhm.
glad.
Yeah, I am too.
Mhm.
But she's like,
You got to be vetted.
yes. She said, I want to go get so and so, and I want to do this, and I want to do that, and they're telling me I can't do that yet. And I said, I'm working on it. I promise, I'm working on it. Court's slow. I'm sorry. Yeah, but it's been wonderful, And we had a fundraiser back, and I want to toot the horns of the attorneys in Marshall County. They stepped up to the plate for our fundraiser. I mean, it was $5 for an ornament to put a name of someone you love on, and we hung it around the fence around the monuments there at Gunnersville Courthouse, or the Marshall County Courthouse in Gunnersville. And I had attorneys writing me $100 checks, $200 checks.
How nice.
You don't have to put anybody on a name. I said, well, no, I'm gonna put your name on an ornament. And I said, well, that was an expensive ornament, but we grossed almost $1,000 from that.
Good.
Yeah. So I'm tooting their horn. They are fantastic. They support us wholeheartedly. In fact, I still have 11 attorneys that are volunteers, that are volunteer guardians. There's some people that if there's some kind of violence or aggressiveness from the family, I just don't want to put a volunteer in that situation as far as a community person. So I will say, can one of the attorneys do that? And they'll go, yeah, I'll do that one. So I'm grateful to them for stepping in to do that, because I don't want my volunteers to be harmed. I don't want that person who's the ward feeling bad because of their family, and then the guardian things going on. It's just too much tension for that person anyway. And so I'm glad that those attorneys will step up to the plate and help out when I need them to. So that's a great thing. But the money thing, I was not expecting that, and it was absolutely
just in time.
Yeah, just in time, and wonderful to have. I've struggled finding a fundraiser because I'm the only employee and I'm only part-time. So whatever I do has got to be something that I can drag my husband out there to help me do. So we've zeroed in on 2. On Christmas, we're going to do ornaments around the fence with in memory or in honor of someone you love. And then from Memorial Day to 4th of July, we're going to do for veterans.
That's a great Oh, we love our veterans too.
We're going to hang stars. It'll be $5 for a star to hang around the fence with your
Great
veteran's
idea.
name on it.
That'll be a great idea right there. Now, how are you guys funded other than having the fundraisers?
We're funded through United Way, and they've been very generous. With COVID again, everything kind of stopped. People weren't working, so they didn't do their donations, and so things kind of stopped. But they've never let us not have money. They've always given us. I mean, I've had to stay at the same amount for so many years, but I could not operate without that, because I don't make much money. I promise y'all I don't. But just my salary, which is nothing, I tell you, and then the insurance, we have to have directors and officers insurance in case something happens to one, and it covers our wards and our guardians. It covers our guardians, not the wards. So those 2 things take up all the money that United Way gives us. And there's times that I've said, I won't take a salary because I know we're getting low on funds, and they're like, no, that's part of it. So the fundraisers, thankfully, that I've finally found one that's doable, and it still makes money, and it's not so overwhelming. That's been a big help. Like the stars that we did back in June, July, was, I think we made $700 off that. This time we made $900 something. So every little bit helps. And then we were doing Amazon. Wow.
I'm going to get onto them for that.
And so I think it ends February.
Like
the
I
1st.
have clout with them.
I think that ends February the 1st. But I mean, every little bit counts,
Uh-huh.
and it was like maybe a quarter we might get $30 or $40. Well, that's $30 or $40 that if one of our individuals needed something like gas money, or I think we have an individual right now that needs some dental work done, and we have a fund set aside, but that could be extra money. I could say that money's going into that fund too. So yeah, those little things like that. Like I said, we do have money set aside. I think it's like 800 to 1,000 that we hold in a place if one of our wards needs something, because most of them are on Medicare, Medicaid. They don't have anything extra. We'll try to help them out, especially dental care, because when you're 18 and you're on Medicaid, you don't need your teeth to do anything else. They're supposed to be fine from there on. I fuss about that all the time, but that's a big issue lots of times is dental care. So that's
How about
been
vision care and that?
Yeah, there's been a couple that needed some assistance with their glasses. They most of the time Medicaid will cover like the frame, and they'll cover. They have certain frames they'll cover, and this one's lens was covered, but there was a special something they needed on their lens because of their eyes sensitivity to the sun kind of thing. So there's always something. We were going to help with that, but before I could, somebody else stepped up and told the guardian here, I think it was a church, said we'll do that.
Nice.
Yeah, they're really good.
Now churches can help. More churches can join into the fight and help you guys.
Yes, I have tried to reach out to some of the churches because I feel like that's where a lot of my volunteers are going to be, is in the churches. And I've gotten some younger people, but it's mostly older people who have retired from one job, but they're not ready to need a guardian themselves, and they don't know what they want to do, and so this gives them something else to do. And I've really reached out to the churches to see if they would like to at least let me come and speak, and I did speak at a couple of churches, and I got a couple of volunteers out of it. So if I don't,
you need to come to Cowboy Church.
I'd love to.
Let me see if I can get that set up.
Okay, if I don't get just one person interested. That time I spoke, I had one lady, she said, I don't want to be a guardian, but said, sometimes they might need, and I looked at her and I said, sometimes my guardians go out of town, and they might need somebody, they're going to be gone for like 2 weeks or something, and I need somebody to go check on their person. And I said, that would be perfect.
Somebody just kind of float.
Yes, be perfect for you.
That would be good. About a minute and a half left. I wanted to mention this. I know that, Social Security, everybody got a little bit of a bump in their salary. But here's the problem. They got a little bit of a bump, but a big inflation going on here. So it's not really evening anything out,
no,
is it?
it's not. It's not evening anything out. And if you're in the nursing home and you're on the low Social Security, and you're
most women are,
and you get Medicaid, then Medicaid gets all your money, and the nursing home gets all your money, and then you get $30 a month.
Oh my goodness! I didn't realize it was that bad.
Yeah, it's $30 a month.
That's not enough to do anything.
No, I mean everything's provided for you if you want to wear their little gowns and stuff. But if you don't have family that's going to bring you jumpsuit or sweatsuits or something like that to wear, then
all you're gonna wear is a gown.
Yeah, basically. So that's where my guardians come in too. They're always wanting to buy and do.
Real quick, how can folks find out?
You can look at gapmarshallco.com. You can look on Facebook, Marshall County Guardianship Program. You can call me at 256-388-9851, and I will talk all day long about GAP.
And I got her number on speed dial. Always, if you're driving down the road right now and you can't jot it down, all you got to do is get in contact with me and I'll take care of it. Thank you, Tricia.
Thank you.
Always a pleasure to have you on the show. And thank you for watching. You're the apple of my eye. I can't wait until the next show to see you. You take care, okay? And we'll see you in the morning for the weather and the traffic report. You take care.